Okay, so imagine this, right? Just 15 seconds. That's literally all it can take sometimes.
Hmm.
A short clip, a catchy sound, and boom, an artist nobody's heard of goes from maybe playing on a street corner to suddenly having this like unbelievable fame and recognition. Their life just completely changes.
It really is revolutionary. It's not just a small change. It feels like it's completely shaking up the whole music world.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. The big question we're trying to tackle is how is TikTok actually fundamentally changing the music industry?
Yeah.
We want to unpack how it's shaping, how hits get made, the way artists promote their stuff, and even how you listening right now find new music.
And we'll look at both sides, the incredible opportunities it creates, but also some of the pretty serious criticisms that are out there.
Definitely. And to help us sort through all this, we've got some really interesting sources lined up.
We do. We're drawing from articles like 15 Seconds to Fame, TikTok revolutionizing the music industry. That one's from the Wildcat Tribune. And another piece from Medium called, Is This the TikTokification of the Music Industry? Plus, we've dug into some fascinating online discussions, particularly from the Stock music community on Reddit.
Great. So I think the first thing that comes to mind for most people when you mention TikTok and music is that sort of overnight star thing. It's really captured the imagination.
It really has.
It feels like for musicians who aren't known, the door to maybe having a successful career is, well, more open than it's ever been before.
Well, the speed is what's just wild. I mean, look
Ah,
at Lil Nas X. Back in 2019, he was 19, dropped out of college, living with his sister,
right.
buys a beat online for like $30. Records Old Town Road.
Oh.
It's a really unique country rap mix, puts it out there, and it just catches fire as this early TikTok meme.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
And within a year, it's the first song ever to hit 15 times platinum, wins 2 Grammys. I mean, it's just staggering.
It really is.
Or, think about Gayle. Her song Absidifu blew up after she supposedly responded to a comment asking for a breakup song using the alphabet.
Okay, I remember hearing about that comment.
Right. Well, it turned out later that comment was actually from her marketing manager.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But look, the virality it sparked was totally real. It got her a Grammy nomination. She even performed with Taylor Swift on the Eras tour.
Wow. So, manufactured or not, the platform delivered. It's genuinely amazing how a little 15-second clip can snowball into a Grammy win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about launching unknowns, is it? TikTok seems to have really changed how record labels work, how music gets promoted generally.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really key point. There's this quote from Jesse Callahan. He founded a marketing firm, and he said, TikTok has become a big way that labels have brought artists into the spotlight the last couple of years.
Right.
It really shows a shift, moving away from just relying on traditional radio play.
So artists can't just be musicians anymore. Now they also have to be like full-time content creators building this huge social media thing. That sounds like a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
and it raises some tricky questions about, where the art stops and the influencing begins.
Yeah.
Take this Australian busker, Anoxia. She went viral, got some record deals, which sounds great, right?
Sure.
But then they started telling her she needed to be more of an influencer. She was like, look, I just want to sing. I don't want to make videos all day. So she actually went back to busking.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not just independent artists. Even big names feel it. Halsey was really open about disliking the app because her label was pushing her to, quote, fake a viral moment just so they'd release a song she loved.
Ugh, that sounds awful. Faking a viral moment.
Yeah. And we've even seen songs that were basically shelved, like forgotten about, get brought back just because of TikTok.
Like what?
Well, Bebe Rexha and David Guetta's track, I'm Good, Blue, they made it way back in 2017. Apparently didn't think it was good enough then. But years later, a snippet goes viral on TikTok, and suddenly, boom, it gets an official release.
It's almost like TikTok is now the A&R department deciding what hits the market.
In a way, yeah.
And then you see artists using it really strategically before a song even comes out. Like Charlie Puth with Light Swim.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
He was like teasing sounds, asking people to imagine parts, making viewers feel like they were in on the production, building hype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get the really engineered stuff, like Meghan Trainor. Her popularity had maybe faded a bit.
Right.
So for Made You Look, they specifically worked with popular TikTok dancers to create a dance challenge that was designed to go viral. And it worked. It put her right back in the spotlight.
So these aren't just lucky breaks anymore. Some of this is very calculated marketing.
Very calculated.
Which, okay, that leads us to a really interesting, maybe slightly uncomfortable question about the music itself. If songs are being, like, made to go viral, what does that actually do to the quality? Are we getting music that's just engineered for that 15-second hit rather than, a whole song experience?
That's the core of the criticism, really. Songs made for TikTok, they do tend to be shorter. They have to be, right? To fit the format and, frankly, people's attention spans these days.
Yeah, which seems shorter than ever.
Totally. And they often mess with the traditional pop song structure. You might lose a post-chorus, or the bridge just isn't there anymore. It's not just about time, it's how the platform works. The algorithm pushes stuff that's instantly shareable, instantly engaging. So it rewards those super catchy hooks over maybe more developed songwriting.
So it kind of incentivizes a certain type of song.
Exactly. And some critics say this leads to, well, monotony. You hear the same 4 chords a lot, lyrics that feel a bit empty, maybe? Soulless is a word that gets thrown around.
Ouch.
And sometimes the chorus and verses feel really disconnected, like they were just stitched together. Lyrics might become less important than just a repetitive, catchy melody, even if it doesn't make much sense.
It's all about that killing part, right? That one super catchy 15-second bit.
Yeah, the bit you can easily make a dance to or put a joke over. That's the golden ticket on TikTok.
And Gale's Absidifu often gets brought up here, doesn't it? People criticized it for maybe not having the deepest lyrics and releasing all those slightly different versions that felt a bit like a stunt to rack up streams.
It definitely fueled that debate. And this connects to how people are actually listening now and how that affects the artists.
Okay, how so?
Well, TikTok isn't really a music streaming app, first and foremost, right?
Okay.
Its goal is getting people to make and watch short videos.
Right. The music is often just the soundtrack to the video trend.
Exactly. So people often don't engage with the whole song. They just know the clip that's trending, the sound for the dance. Remember the Renegade dance?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It used that song Lottery by K-Camp. But how many people doing the dance actually knew the song's name or the artist? Probably not that many.
That's true. So what does that do to an artist when your fans might only know 15 seconds of one song?
Yeah, imagine pouring your heart into an album and people only know that one little snippet. It must be incredibly frustrating.
I can only imagine.
There's this story about Steve Lacy. He was playing a concert, performing his song Bad Habits, which had blown up on TikTok.
Okay.
And he apparently stopped and asked the crowd why they stopped singing after the bridge. And the reality was, most of them probably only knew that viral part. They didn't know the rest of the song, let alone his other music.
Oh, wow. That's kind of heartbreaking for an artist.
It really can be. It could lead to artists feeling, less enthusiastic about their own work. And for the quote-unquote real fans who are there for the whole show, it can be a weird vibe when the energy just dies after the viral bit is over.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it does make you wonder, are we kind of training listeners not to listen to a whole song anymore? Just constantly skipping to the next hit, the next viral moment?
It's a valid concern.
So, okay, this brings us to the big question, the sort of overarching debate. Is TikTok actually good or bad for music? Is it like ruining music, as some people claim? Or is this just the next step, the latest evolution?
Well, there's a pretty strong argument that it's just the newest medium. People look back at other big shifts in technology and how music was consumed.
Like what?
Like the ringtone era in hip-hop. That got heavily criticized, too, for chopping up songs into little bits. But did it ruin hip-hop? No.
That's a good point.
So from this perspective, TikTok is just another platform, another medium, in a long line that includes MTV, radio, vinyl singles, CDs. Heck, even sheet music back in the 1800s changed how music spread.
Right. The music always adapts to how it's delivered.
Exactly. Think about AM radio in the 50s. It favored those short, punchy, danceable rock and roll songs because that's what sounded good and worked on that medium. So the thinking here is, okay, TikTok has its constraints, but the art will rise to the occasion. Artists will figure out how to be creative within it.
And it's true. Music isn't just one thing, right? It's so diverse. You can't just say it's all being ruined at once.
Not at all. And you absolutely have to acknowledge the huge positives TikTok has brought, especially for discovery and what people call democratization.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, think about older songs getting a whole new life. Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, a hit from 1977. It went back onto the Billboard Hot 100 chart after like 40 years because of that one viral skateboarding video.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Or Edison Lighthouse's Love Grows, one of my Rosemary Goes, from
Yeah.
the 70s, apparently got 3 million streams in just 1 week because of TikTok.
Wow. Bringing classics back.
Yeah. And it's been incredible for underground artists, people who maybe wouldn't have gotten to break through the old system. You had Coyote Theory. Their song from 2011 suddenly became a hit in 2022.
I think I heard that one.
Probably.
Mhm.
And acts like Cafoon with Tech It, or Beach Weather with Sex, Drugs, etc. Songs that were out for years suddenly found this massive audience.
That's genuinely inspiring, right?
Yeah.
It shows that years of work can pay off, even without that traditional industry machine behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like it's opening things up.
It really is expanding what people listen to. You've got music from every decade, from all over the world, suddenly getting attention.
So you could argue artists actually have more direct power now,
Yeah.
less dependent on those old gatekeepers, the labels, the radio stations.
That's definitely part of the narrative, yeah. More creative control, more direct connection to potential fans.
Okay.
One way someone put it, which I thought was interesting, is that TikTok basically amplifies both the shitty and the good parts of how we consume media anyway.
Okay, explain that.
Well, yeah, you get the short attention span stuff, the trend chasing. But, people who genuinely love music, they'll still dig deeper. They might hear a 15-second clip of, say, Jack Stabber on TikTok and then go listen to all his albums. Right, use it as a jumping off point.
Exactly. Or how tons of people got into the band Ghost after their song Mariana Cross went viral. It can be a really powerful gateway to discovering artists in depth.
Okay, that makes sense. But is TikTok really just a neutral medium? Like, is it the same as sheet music or a CD?
That's the pushback.
Because a piece of paper doesn't have an algorithm, right? It doesn't actively push certain things over others based on engagement metrics.
Precisely. And that's the counterargument.
Yeah.
TikTok isn't just a passive container like sheet music. It's a corporation. It's a platform with very specific rules. Videos under 30 seconds often do best. The algorithm rewards certain types of content.
Right.
And those parameters can absolutely shape and, some argue, limit artistic choices in a way that just printing sheet music doesn't. When one dominant platform has such specific requirements, does that narrow the field of what gets heard or even what gets made?
Yeah, that's a really valid concern. And you hear worries about the industry itself leaning too hard into this.
Also?
Like deliberately chasing Gen Z listeners, maybe promoting artists who are, let's say, more about the trend than the musical substance, and maybe even subtly pushing newer unknown artists to kind of tailor their sound for TikTok, potentially swashing their own unique style before it even develops.
Yeah, that pressure is real.
Yeah.
And you definitely hear that sort of gatekeeper sentiment sometimes, people feeling like music culture gets watered down when, folks with zero taste, as they might put it, just jump on whatever the latest hip shit is.
Right. The argument being that it doesn't add much lasting value.
That's the feeling for some, yeah.
Yeah.
That it might devalue deeper musical engagement.
Okay, so it's clearly really complex. There's this democratizing power, this incredible discovery engine, but also these real concerns about artistic integrity, listener habits, and corporate influence.
Definitely not a simple good or bad situation.
So wrapping this up, we've seen how profoundly TikTok has reshaped things, not just the industry, but maybe even how our brains process music now. It makes you wonder, as technology keeps evolving, do you think we'll just keep going down this road towards even shorter, more fragmented content? Or could there be a twist? Could new tech somehow, maybe surprisingly, lead us back towards wanting deeper, more immersive ways to appreciate music as a whole art form? What do you think the future holds there?